going to use proportions to read a map. So here we have the map of an island. And this scale bar down here tells us that the length of this line represents 2 miles on real land. Let's go ahead and measure that line. I'm going to line the line up with the ruler starting at 0, not the end of the ruler. So it's about 1, 2, 3 inches. So I'm going to label that line with 3 inches just so I don't forget. Now this right here is one of the ratios that we're going to use to write our proportion. Well, let's now take a moment to measure the distance between these two items on the map. We're going to look at the dock and the shark. Here's the dock. This one's a bridge. So the dock to the shark, and we're going to use those dots next to them. And again, when we measure, we line up one of those points with 0 on the ruler. So the distance between the two is 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. All right, so let's write our proportion. Right here, this tells us that 3 inches on the map is 2 miles on land. So we're just gonna plug in those numbers here to the proportion. 3 inches on the map is 2 miles on land. Then when we measure the distance between these 2 points, it is 4 inches. Oops, okay. But we don't yet know how far that is on land, so we're just going to use X to represent it. Now we can use cross products to solve this proportion. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then if we go in the other direction, 3 times X is 3X. Then we can use our inverse operations and divide both sides by 3. So 8 divided by 3 is 2.6 repeating, and we will round that up to 2 67/100ths. And our new units is now miles. I'm just going to move that so we can see our final answer. All right, let's try another one. All right, so our ratio is still staying the same. 3 inches is going to represent 2 miles. This time we're going to measure the distance between the cave and the volcano. All right, so I'm going to be, again, very careful that I'm going to line up one of the dots with 0. All right, so it looks to be about 1, 2, ooh, it's in the middle of 2 and 3. Let's round to the nearest ½ inch, so 2½ inches. All right, so for the proportion, again, we're going to use this ratio from the map. So 3 inches represents 2 miles. And if that's true, then 2½ inches, which is less than 3, so it's going to be something less than 2. And we'll use X to represent it because so far we don't know. Okay, if we multiply in this direction, 2 times 2½ is 5. And if we multiply in the other direction, 3 times X is 3X. So 5 is equal to 3 times some number. So again, we can use inverse operations to undo this multiplication, and we can divide both sides by 3. So 5 divided by 3 is 1 6 repeating. So we'll round that to 1 67/100ths miles.